Well, good afternoon. Just a minute or two ago, we've had some changes to our red flag warning here in the valley. Remember, I was talking about everywhere in the valley we need to be careful about what we're doing because of the wind and the dry fuels. Well, now more places are added to our red flag warning. It's not just the Devil's Lake and James River Valley now, also all of the northern valley, including Grand Forks into Polk County, back over to Baudette and Bemidji included, and Lakes Country into Minnesota, down into Fergus Falls and Detroit Lakes and Wadena. So these places, once again, under red flag warnings. We've got dry weather, dry conditions, and a strong wind, plus those dry fuels that are still out there. So something to keep in mind here. And again, just a reminder, if you're not included, we still want to be careful. If you've got some hot spots over the last week, keep an eye on those and practice those precautions. Don't want to be disposing of cigarettes improperly. We want to make sure that we are avoiding burning and anything that might create sparks out there here during this time. Now, looking at winds, they are out of the south. They are gusting into the 30s. We have a gust of 35 miles per hour in Fargo and in Grand Forks. It's 36 in Hallock. Just last hour, we had a 40-mile-per-hour gust. So it's still going here as we head into the afternoon. That wind coming in out of the south, that warmer, dry air taking over. And here's a view of the wind's impacts. Those flags really going down in the Dakota Magic Casino area, in the Hankinson area, right along the state line with South Dakota. In fact, we're looking towards South Dakota just beyond those flags. So again, in the Southern Valley, we've got some windy weather there too. It's everywhere essentially. And we've got temperatures responding to that south wind. We're into the 40s and 50s. It's 54 in Fargo, 53 in Grand Forks, 51 in Thief River Falls. A few clouds up in the Grand Forks area. Here's a look at your radar and satellite map. It's pretty dry and quiet as far as precipitation is concerned. There are those clouds up to the north. Southern Valley is more on the sunny side with a couple of clouds moving through here and there. And then you can see out to the northwest, more cloud cover moving into the Devil's Lake Basin. And there's more where that came from in the western part of the state that will be moving eastward from there. So just something to keep in mind that we'll see some increase in cloud cover for today. Here's a look at your hour-by-hour planners. We head into the afternoon. Those temperatures will continue to rise. There's a front going through, and you can make it out pretty well here in our forecast model. If you look at our winds, there's a very well-defined shift going on from south or southwest to suddenly out of the northwest, and that's right where the front is. And we're looking at when that wind suddenly shifts right before we turn that northwesterly direction, we could see a sudden surge in temperatures, and that would be most likely down in southeastern North Dakota. We're talking Fargo, down toward Lisbon and Ellendale and Jamestown, seeing some of those warmer temperatures getting into the low 70s. The rest of us more into the 50s and 60s here for today, with that wind eventually easing up heading into this evening. You can see in the 6 o'clock hour tonight, still strong to the east. And we do have winds coming in out of the northwest, but it's not as intense initially as we head into the nighttime hours. And then tomorrow we will eventually see the winds quiet down in the morning, and then they'll pick right back up for Saturday. So more fire weather concerns as we head into the holiday weekend. And speaking of, we've got temperatures the next couple of days, next few days, where we're going to see places in the valley get into the 70s. Easter Sunday looks beautiful, but just keep in mind, even if we're not seeing those wild winds earlier in the week, we've got enough fuel out there and dry conditions that if we do get a wind gusting above 20 miles per hour, we do need to be concerned about the potential for fire weather, and that could last into Monday. Rest of next week, we have potential for some rain, and it could bring some relief to some of us. Still a ways away yet, but the potential is there, so we're going to continue to keep an eye on that and keep our fingers crossed that we can get some good rain to help improve this dry weather.
Sounds like some nice weather enough to have church outdoors, but like you just mentioned, you want to be super cautious when you're outside. But hopefully that rain chance does come, because I know we've been kind of in a drought for a little bit, so that rain would definitely help out a lot. Thanks, Lisa. Well, straight ahead at noon, ideas from the experts to make this year's Easter celebration extra special.